Hey guys, it's Janvi back with another video. So what inspired me for this look is the sunset going into the nighttime. You have the dark twilighty blues representing the nighttime and the warm oranges for the sunset. And you also have super duper glowy skin and a super chiseled face. It is so beautiful and I hope you guys like this look. If you want to learn how I got this look, then keep watching. I'm starting off with my eyebrows already filled in. I just used the Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade in the shade Ebony, and I just went ahead and concealed them with a little concealer brush and some foundation. So now I'm gonna go ahead and prime my face. I'm gonna be using the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. Just smooth that over where you have pores or really textured skin. For me, that's around my nose and my cheek area. Now we're gonna start off on the eyeshadow using a really fluffy eyeshadow brush from e.l.f. I'm gonna be using the Pretty Fun and Fearless palette. I'm gonna be washing Skinny Dip essentially all over my eyelid, and then I'll focus the shade Unconditional more into my crease and outer V area. These shades will sort of serve as transitional shades, so everything else will blend out a lot more flawlessly. For the eyeshadow look I'm going for, I want the crease area to be a lot more orangey and warm as opposed to cool and brown. So I'm going to be going into my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, reaching for the shade Blazing, and then after that on my outer V I will layer on a little bit of the shade Amber, just for a little bit of depth. So I still want the orange shade to blend out into something more warm, like a yellow shade, dipping into my Morphe 3503 Fierce by Nature palette. And I forgot the name of it, but I'm going to be going in with this yellow warm shade. So I'm bringing this color up to just a little bit beneath my eyebrow bone. Now we want to add more depth underneath the orange shades. So we're going to be going in with some more dark browns. For my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk, going in with the dark brown shade Ode. Not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Switching to a more dense and smaller precise brush from e.l.f. Just going to be packing this into my outer V and my inner corner, and then I'll blend it out onto my crease. Going back into the fluffy e.l.f. brush I used earlier, blending this in a little windshield wiper motion. Now that we have that deep shade all blended out, we could start packing in really dark shades and it'll just blend in super duper seamlessly. So from the same Morphe 3505 palette, I'm going to be mixing two brown shades, this dark brown shade and this more brick colored shade. And I'm going to be blending that out a little bit more where I placed the other color Ode. Then just going to be blending that out with the same fluffy brush. So now that I'm done adding in all the warm and the deep shades, I'm going to go into the star of the show for tonight. Beautiful, deep, kind of twinkly, sparkly, starry sky type of color. It's from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina collection. This little midnight sparkle shade right here. Packing that onto the center of my lid. See how beautiful the blue midnighty shade goes with the orange and the warm colors. Then I'm just going to go back in with my fluffy e.l.f. brush and blend out the edges super duper lightly. If you blend it out too much, then you'll just get rid of the sparkle altogether, which we don't want. It just comes together so beautifully. I'm so in love with this already. popping on some falsies. And then I will be tying in my top lashes with the falsies with this little Clinique High Impact Mascara. So here are my lashes. Also just went ahead and took a Q-tip with some micellar water on it and just cleaned up the edges of the eyeshadow. They will be cleaned up a little bit more with the concealer and stuff. We already have our primer on and it's probably tacky. So first I'm going to be putting on a little bit of foundation. So I'm going to be going in with my Bobbi Brown foundation in the shade 5.5 Warm Honey. Next I'm going to be spotting on some concealer. So I'm using my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the shade Natural Beige. So I'm going to be spotting this underneath my eyes, underneath the wing of my eyeshadow, underneath my cheekbones, and around my mouth. So I have this dense foundation brush from e.l.f. I'm just going to be blending this out. I'm obviously not done blending. I will go in with a little damp beauty blender just to seamlessly blend out the rest and to get really close underneath my eye with the concealer. Next step is powder foundation. I'm going to be using the Smashbox powder foundation in the shade Light Neutral, dusting that over my face with a fluffy powder brush. I'm not really sure where I got this. It was a gift from my mom. Now moving on to contours to add some depth to the face. I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Match Stix in the shade Mocha. Using that on my cheekbones, around my forehead, my nose, and underneath my lip. Using a smallish, dense blending brush. Just blending out my nose contour with my finger. To make the nose contour look most natural, just blend out the edges of it and blend it up into your eyebrow bone. It'll also help the eyeshadow look a little bit less weird. Next is bronzer. I'm going to be using this MAC Mineral Powder in the shade Dark Golden. Just going over everywhere I contoured and blending it out more so that the contour looks more natural and my skin just looks more bronzy. Next is highlighter time. I'm actually going to be using an eyeshadow for this. So I'm going into my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette and I'm using the shade Nefertiti. Just placing the highlighter on my nose, my inner corners, and of course the cheekbones. Now I'm going to go in with a Milani blush. This is in the shade Coral Cove and I'm going to be using an angled e.l.f. blush brush. Just using this to blend together the highlight and the bronzer. Now going back to eyeshadow, dense, smaller eyeshadow brush again. Going into my Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, into the dark brown shade Ode. Just blending this below my lash line. You want to make sure you connect it with your eyeshadow at the edge. Just going to be using this black MAC Kajal pencil, going over my waterline and my tight line. Going over my bottom lashes with a bit of the same mascara. When I'm wearing falsies, I do like to try to go in with a thick layer of bottom lash mascara just so it doesn't look super weird that you have such thick and long lashes on the top and practically no lashes on the bottom. The last step is lipstick. I'm just using this red lip shine from Victoria's Secret. So this is my favorite lip trick. I just go in with like a little dab of red lipstick and blend it out and it gives like a beautiful red wash. Now I'm just going to be spritzing my face with some setting spray so this lasts the entire night. I'm using the Urban Decay All-Nighter setting spray. That's it for the makeup look. Love this look so much. I love the cool blues and the shimmers blending out with the warm reds and the oranges. Skin is just super duper glowy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy this video. Bye!